on the Fringe with Dan RadioStyle. Hope everybody out there's having themselves a great day. Oh my gosh, much going on. So the whole Trump thing, Trump-Putin thing, this is going to be very interesting and enjoying the process. Obviously, deep state definitely wants war. So we're seeing who's supporting that, who's pushing that. That's helpful, I think, to all the people playing along at home, right? Also, this whole story that's still bugging the crap out of me, but I think it's making more sense now. We're going to talk about, but the idea of us using military force in Mexico. Something interesting. This leaked information is odd. And again, I don't know if it was meant to find a leak or if this leak was intentional. We will definitely talk more. It feels the leak was intentional at this point. I hope. Or I hope they bust the hell out of somebody. And speaking of which, the fiasco in Texas still hasn't totally been resolved. Kind of working on it. Again, a lot of weird stuff. Tulsi Gabbard came out with more crazy stuff, this time about Clapper. Oh, I thought the lights were going to turn off. Sorry. It doesn't happen all the time. But the Clapper, yeah, he got the clap. Well, so we'll talk about a number of things. There's, again, so much clap going on right now. See what I did there? I know it wasn't funny. I know. I agree with you. Yeah, all said. Let's get it going. This was, well, it just reminded me of me. It reminds me of what the advice I give. Like a lot of people, I think I'm preachy and all this bullshit, but I think this is like the most important stuff in the world right now. And I was not alone. There's an ancient, wise individual that's super old. Pavel Durov. You guys know him. He's the Telegram guy. A month ago, my father, a leading expert in ancient Roman literature, turned 80. I asked what advice I should pass to the next generation. He gave me 3. 1, lead by example. People, especially kids, follow what you do, not what you say. Watching my father work tirelessly on numerous books and scientific papers showed me and my brother the meaning of dedication and inspired us to work hard too. Number 2, focus on the positive. Growing up in post-war Leningrad, my father learned to control emotions to be a positive force for his family, colleagues, and society. He taught me to frame thoughts in ways that bring the most good, even in hard times. And 3, prioritize conscience. Studying and translating thinkers from Julius Caesar to Seneca, my father saw that morals outlast talent. Moral compass, unlike intelligence or creativity, is the ultimate human quality that will not lose value, even in the age of AI. So again, sometimes many would say, just a stupid example kind of, is like the clickbaity stuff, right? Like for those that are trying to, stay true. There's musicians that do this all the time, staying true to the music, but then selling out or selling out to the clickbait, if you will. It is, it's an interesting place. Obviously, the sellouts do a significantly better job, but at least as far as numbers and as far as money, but not as far as the art or the message or the, right? That gets sacrificed. It's a weird thing because ultimately people will react to the clickbait. Ultimately, people reward the wrong behavior. And it's the funny part. I do believe that's changing to a degree, or at least my audience. I'm focused on those of you that are a bit more past the point of being asleep, right? Like that's harder for me. That's not who I'm working with. Washington Free Beacon put this out on August 5th, the same day Donald Trump threatened a federal law enforcement takeover in D.C. The city quietly settled a lawsuit from a former police sergeant who accused her superiors of deliberately misclassifying certain offenses to make crime stats look low. Now, we know the head of the sheriff or whoever it was just lost their jobs. But this information's out, so they were trying to dumb down the numbers to make it seem like everything's fine in D.C. Anybody that lives in D.C. would say, no, crime is quite nasty. And so they have a different feel. And even, I shared it yesterday. We had CNN, we had MSNBC. I don't know, it was the, Mika and what's his face, right? Mika and Chandler show was on, and they were talking about it. So DC is not an okay place. They can say all they want. They can do the stats all they want. It's kind of like what they were doing with the jobs numbers and stuff while Biden was in office before the election. FBI director, they arrested 45 people just last night. Just last night. 29 immigration related, 16 tied to violent crime surge, and 3 firearm seizures. Also, a sandwich thrower that happened as well. We'll get to that at some point. Yeah, no, he worked for the Department of Justice. Pam Bondi fired his punk ass. Yeah, pretty cool. DC police chief issued new executive orders allowing police to notify ICE about subjects not in custody. This whole sanctuary nonsense in Washington, D.C. sounds over. The police chief has now got the power to do so, or has been told or instructed, if you want to keep your job, this is what you shall do. Whatever the case is, they are now going to let ICE know when they've got illegals in the vicinity. Richard Blumenthal, he's a dick. It makes sense, right? He's calling for the firing of RFK Jr.'s ally over violent rhetoric. Now, who, you're wondering, first off, I hope. We're talking about Malone, Robert Malone. Dude, Malone. The guy that's like one of the sweetest, most helpful, the guy that invented the one that was doing the testing, not the RNA, they got RNA stuck in the brain, but the testing, they take it down to like, 40 cycles or whatever the hell, right? Like the something PR testing or whatever it is. Whatever, you guys know. Don't email me, please. It doesn't matter. You guys know the testing that they were doing for COVID and all that stuff, right? This guy invented it. He invented the technology. So they're trying to get him fired. Richard Blumenthal trying to get him fired, which he's a hardcore Democrat and a retard. I didn't say. I'm alleging he's a retard. I don't know for sure. He might be just, special. Trump picks Democrat to lead energy regulatory commission. So this is, interesting because Trump putting the people where he puts them is always something to keep in mind, something to pay attention to. He's putting a Democrat in the place of the energy and natural resource. What is this? Democrat chair to the Federal Energy Regulation Commission. So the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission. This dude's been involved on the Senate's Energy and Natural Resources. Trump even says, I'm honored to serve, or he says he's honored to serve. I have a better quote down here, I thought. But the commission is made up of 5 commissioners who are appointed by the presidents, but do not necessarily answer to particular administration, though the president can select who chairs it. The chair of FERC, as it was called, they set the agenda and all that nonsense. But this guy is happy to be there. I thought there was a better quote in here. This is bumming me out. There was, I thought. 2 Democrats. Again, this is energy. It has to do with natural gas pipelines that travel across interstate. I don't know why that's being lied or missing in my mind. There it is. FERC is an agency that regulates cross-state energy pipelines and power lines, as well as gas export terminals. Again, the fact that he's put a Democrat there is interesting, for sure. It's a powerful thing. There's nothing green about it, per se. This dude sounds like he's involved in the Energy and Natural Resources Committee. He is a Democrat. That says a lot. That's right? So anyway, whatever. We'll see. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. Melania Trump is basically suing Biden Jr., Hunter. I'm forgetting their names already. They're so irrelevant. Hunter Biden. He apparently made the quote that Epstein's the one who introduced Melania. He's posting this on his social media. Melania's lawyer has basically said, look, take it down and issue an apology. He basically didn't. So then she's now said, well, we're going to sue you for $1 billion. Melania is literally suing him for $1 billion. Here is, I guess, his response. I haven't actually listened to this. I hope this isn't a waste of time. I think he says the F word, pretty sure.
Fact of the matter is that, I don't think that these threats of a lawsuit are add up to anything other than a design distraction, because it's not about who introduced whom to who. I don't know how that's in any way rises to the level of defamation to begin with. But the fact of the matter is that this is about hundreds, if not over 1,000 minors, children who were raped by Jeffrey Epstein. And I don't believe in guilt by association alone, but the connections have become they're so glaringly obvious that I think they're trying to use other things to distract. And I also think they're bullies, and they think that $1 billion is going to scare me, which is the fact of the matter is that if they'd like to go, I have this to say to them. If they want to sit down for a deposition and clarify the nature of the relationship between Jeffrey Epstein, if the president and the first lady want to do that, and all of the known associates around them at the time of whatever time that they met, I'm more than happy to provide them the platform to be able to do it.
Oh,
the fact of the matter is,
he didn't cuss. They kind of made it sound like that in one of the stories. But yeah, I mean, and whatever the case is, I will say that he is much like his father in his ability to carry a sentence. Just saying. Homeland Security posted this unprecedented data showing that 1.6 million illegals are out of our country in the last 200 days since Secretary Noem has sworn in and at POTUS took office. So promises made, promises kept. Numbers coming down in a big way. Also got a shuttered prison that has been converted or is being converted into an ICE detention center, I guess. It's in Mason, Tennessee, and its plans have been approved. It's a smaller town. They'd shut this down under the Biden administration, and this will be opened back up. It's going to offer jobs. It's really the reason the city's behind it. They don't give a crap about the politics of it. They're more interested in providing some jobs to the town. A lot of ghost towns are kind of popping up all over the country. And a lot of it's because certain factories and whatnot have been removed from areas where people lived. And that was a big part of why certain areas took off to begin with, was because they had a specific manufacturing facility or a specific kind of something that brought people there, created a reason to live nearby. And once you shipped off that thing, then these towns dry up and die. And it's very sad, right? Because otherwise you got to drive like 100 miles to get to wherever the major city is. Maybe if you're lucky, you can work remotely. Our good friend, Mr. Lifts, I like him. I love him. In fact, I feel like he's taking it off. He's taking off right now. But Mr. DeSantis himself, governor, a.k.a. Thursday, he's new facility. They're going to be opening up at Baker Correctional Institute. State prison, about 43 miles west of Jacksonville. State officials say it will initially have about 1,300 immigration detention beds with the potential to expand to 2,000. They're calling it, though, and this is where I thought it was maybe too soon, Deportation Depot. That's not funny. It's not funny if you're someone right now that's being removed, but I mean, it's pretty damn funny for anybody that's here illegally. This is hysterically funny, especially the very end. The very end of this is even funnier. Roommates, gerrymandering. It's a perfect example of what this actually is. Check this out. This is awesome.
You said I need to start taking care of myself.
You are absurd.
So I'm marking what is mine.
You're gerrymandering the apartment.
It
doesn't even make sense.
These are my highly frequented areas. This is my chair.
God.
This chair was promised to my family 30 years ago.
You bought it off Facebook Marketplace last month. This is ridiculous. I mean, come on, you gerrymandered the TV.
Just the Netflix icon. That's my ex-girlfriend's account. I still have the login.
I don't need to do the chips.
You've eaten my food before.
This is leading into my room.
That's an annex. Or don't look at it. Come on.
Are you kidding me?
What?
The lotion? What is that?
Okay, that's where I sit.
Hey, what's going on in here?
Hey, babe. Chris is marking his territory in the apartment.
Oh, it's so weird.
Hey, what the hell is that? Son of a bitch! What? That's my girlfriend!
I'm looking to redistrict it.
Redistricting his girlfriend. Again, I thought that was pretty damn funny. Man, maybe that's just because I have a sick sense of humor. Could be. Illinois judge rejected Texas AG Ken Paxton's request to enforce the arrests of the Texas House members. Basically said, look, we don't have jurisdiction to do this. You got people from your state that are here visiting in this state. We can't necessarily interfere. They haven't broken any laws as far as we're concerned. So, no, there's nothing we can do. It's not like they went like, like they just like, nah, we can't. It's like, this isn't our thing. Nor should it be, by the way. So good on them. Texas House holds legislative session on August 14th today, as many Democrats remain out of state still. I don't think they've got the quorum yet. Now, again, remember, through the Senate passed the gerrymandering, if you will, It happened. It passed there. So we're just waiting on the House to have enough people, and it will pass, probably. There's nothing, I mean, even if all the Democrats show up, it's still not going to pass. Only thing they can do is, well, not show up and try to keep this quorum going. But it is costing them $500 per day. Big part of why Texas keeps, like, slamming the gavel down, you know, almost in a monkey kind of way. Like, it's just funny. And yeah, they are $500 every time he slams that gavel down. All right. And if they take donations from anyone, they're breaking the law. The individuals donating are breaking the law. Like, it's, you know, it's double whammies. Now, of course, Gavin Newsom, he's announcing Liberation Day. He's like, that's it. We're all in. We're going crazy. We're going crazy. Well, I'm going to get together with all my crazy other super Democrat friend governors, Pritzker and Hochul, calls them out specifically. And we're going to gerrymander the hell out of our states. We're going to gerrymander the hell. You won't need the whole seat, just the edge. It's coming, I guess. Sunday. It right? I guess. I mean, it's Wednesday today. We're talking about it, but Wednesday. Pritzker, Hochul. I mean, I kind of think this is sort of, again, I don't know. I don't know. I don't really care that Texas is doing it, and I frankly don't care that California's doing it. I don't care. Because I honestly think it's going to help and hurt who it does, right? You know what I mean? And I think in a lot of cases, Texas, they're going to fight it in courts probably anyway once it happens, you know, as far as the lines and all that stuff. But if they actually created 5 more seats in Congress, then that's significant. Hopefully y'all fill those seats properly. And again, is it 5 seats in Texas's Congress or 5 seats in the United States Congress? And I feel like the way it's being stated is that it's 5 seats in the United States Congress. But how does Texas, I mean, there would have to be isn't that what censuses are for? And those are done by the national, right? So how could a state decide that they're getting 5 more seats in the national Congress? I don't know. I'm thinking, I feel like this is the state Congress that they're going to get 5 more seats. But I could be wrong. Fact check me. It's not my damn state, right? I love tacos, though. So, hey, I'm there. I was surprised how small the Alamo was when I was there. The Wax Museum looked almost as big, frankly, to be honest with you. Just down the street. Water Walk, beautiful down there. I think that's what you call it. And I've also been there for Fiesta. So lots of good times. Lots of good times out there. Great people. Again, remind you guys, healthy living. Healthy living is just healthy thoughts, healthy choices. And most of us don't necessarily realize healthy sometimes comes from just the general healing aspect that our bodies do for ourselves, right? We naturally heal. Our cells supposedly replace themselves every 7 years. I don't know, some number I heard a long time ago. I don't know how true it is, but something like that, right? Your cells are constantly changing. I think it depends on where they are and what they are and yada, yada. Stem cells are cells that are androgynous. They're cells that are like, they're whatever cells. They're human cells. They're like, we can be what you'd like us to be. We are like, you know, ready to be malleable into something, malleablated into something. And so what Stem Active does is it causes your own body to produce more of those. You're not actually getting stem cells put into you by these pills, no. And in fact, when they do that, they're usually injections, I believe. And secondly, it's usually from a fetus. Yeah, embryonic fetus. Aborted babies, stem cells. That's where a lot of them come from. This doesn't do that. What it does is it helps your body. As we age, we slowly aren't creating as many of these. So a lot of the things that need replacing and healing in our bodies just don't have enough stem cells, enough ability in our body to take care of it. And so I think things back up a little bit. This kind of helps create more of those androgynous cells that can become any cell in the body. They can become skin cell, a muscle cell, a bone cell, a lung cell. They can become whatever cell they need to be. Now, once they become that, they're stuck that way forever. You know, there's no changing your pronouns once you become a lung cell. You're a lung cell now. I'm sorry. You want to call yourself a heart cell, but you're never going to be. Right? That's how it works. So stem cells are powerful. They got 2 ways that you can go about it. The pills, it's the way I do it. It's just easier, I think. There's 2 of them. You pop 2 in your mouth, drink a little thing, boom, done. The gel, though, dude, it's liquid. And I'll tell you what, when it comes to a lot of these ingredients, the liquid just makes it easier. It just gets straight into your system. 2 different ways to do it. Same price. It's just, 6 of one, half a dozen the other. And that happens. You want to go to danradiostyle.healthyhome.com. Also, balance, ladies, for you going through the change. There's no synthetic hormones in here. It's actually plant-based stuff. Gets your body dealing with the change. It's transdermal lotion. Rub a little here, rub a little there. Bada bing, bada boom. You're feeling better, and believe it or not, your relationships are improving. Literally, I'm hearing people telling me relationships are improving. May not still be sleeping in the same beds, but relationships are improving. Amaze, collagen peptide. Peptide's certainly the best way to go about it. Collagen, most important protein in your body. You put these two worlds together, and, well, frankly, you just did it perfectly. Collagen peptides. You got sagging skin, sore muscles, joint discomfort, lifeless hair, nails. These things all benefit from more collagen, frankly. So you go to Amaze, you get this Amaze product, and you will be amazed. Girlfriend's skin, she came back, I swear to God, she looked like 5, 6, 7 years younger. It tripped me out. She was gone a month, so who knows? Maybe I just missed her. She's cute, you know. And she had this like thing above her eyebrow, or like, I don't know. It's gone. Gone. So Amaze is awesome and powerful, and I highly recommend it. Yeah, especially the joints, sagging skin too. Especially if you're losing weight or have lost a bunch of weight, this will help kind of you deal with that in a proper way. It takes time. It's one of the sad parts about losing a bunch of weight quickly is your skin doesn't catch up sometimes. So give yourself a chance. It will come back to normal. You will look the way you did. Be kind to yourself. Prime's a great product. I made sure I took it this morning. Every once in a while I forget. It's sitting right here too. I've just with crap ton of stuff sitting right here. But it expands the vessels, so it makes more blood flow happen. More blood flow, more oxygen, more energy. And that's what it is. It's just more energy. You feel better, and it's fantastic. And then, of course, Stem Active for your pets. It's about half the price of what we pay for ourselves, so it's good. For the pets, it's chewable, and it helps them get their healing abilities amplified. Again, as we age, we've got antioxidants, oxidants, right? They always talk about antioxidants, trying to get the oxidants out of your body. The oxidants are what do the aging. They're what do the damage. Something's been oxidated. It's been acted upon by an oxidant. That's why antioxidants are helpful. Again, all these things matter, right? But that's what's happening. Aging, oxidation. That's it in a nutshell. So as we age, well, some of the things don't work as well as they used to. We can change that. There's a lot of things we can do to help that balance. Oh, did I say it? Or the stem cells. Check them out. Go to danradiostyle.healthyhome.com, danradiostyle.healthyhome.com. Check it out. We got some cartel action to talk about. Now, this is the thing that's been bugging the crap out of me. A lot, in fact. I guess bugging the crap's probably sufficiently strong. Maybe. Right? Dadgummit. Oh, take that. Just to add a little more. But an MQ-9B Guardian. I thought that was one of the Reaper's drones, but maybe that's a different letter. Whatever. It was classified as Troy 701. It's orbiting for several hours outside of Mexico City, likely somewhere near the cartels. Now, we've been having all the talk about the cartels and about how we were going to send military forces into the cartels, right? And it was like, to me, I was bothered by it because it was leaked, according to alleged sources close to the president, and the secret thing that happened somehow got leaked. So that bugs me still bugs me a lot. Like, and I hope it was a leaked thing. But it wasn't totally correct. Or it was, let's say, misleading. It implied that the United States was literally going to be like flying in like B-1 bombers into Mexico and dropping smart munitions onto, these dudes' houses. Or something to that effect. When in reality, Mexico asked us for help. They haven't made it public, probably because Scheinbaum's probably controlled by the cartels to some degree. So none of this has really come forward publicly, but it's being played in this weird psyop-y kind of way. So the aircraft that's been flying over the state of Mexico in recent hours is not a military plane. This is what they said, en masse. But an unmanned aircraft flying at the specific request of an institution of the Mexican government, clarified the head of the State of Security and Citizen Protection, Omar Garcia Harfuch. So he's saying, no, we asked him to come here. Now we've got this reward up to $5 million USD for information leading to the arrest and or conviction of Johnny Hurtado Olascoaga, right? AKA Pez. Much easier. Pez was such a good candy. Oh, so good. LNFM, foreign terrorist organization. Now we have declared a war against a number of cartels recently. Probably some for this reason right here. So we can, in fact, assist when they ask, even though we wouldn't do it ourselves. There's another $3 million for this Jose Alfredo Hurtado Escoago. It's a different dude. I guess they're related, though. Sounds like it. They're both Hurtados, even. So, yeah, they're from, like, the same father or whatever, right? Isn't that how that works? You get that middle name is the father or the mother name? Oh, the same mom. That's what it is. I think that's the mom name, and then the last name is the father. Whatever the case is, I don't know. Doesn't freaking matter in my mind, frankly. But yeah, all this crap's happening. This thing flew straight down. It's a long way to go, too. Took off from Tejas, Taco Time, and flew down there. MQ-9 family, blah, 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 right? Mexico did extradite 26 alleged cartel leaders recently. You guys, we talked about this. This is, well, significant. They've literally sent some really, really bad baddies here. Again, I guess it's good that we're going to make sure they can't ever do anything ever again, and maybe Mexico prefers that so they don't have to deal with them, because then someone's going to bust into their jail and break them out. And here, there's no way they do. So we've taken in some pretty heavy-handed, big-level people from the cartels with the help of Mexico, apparently. And who knows what's going on, covertly, of course. But overtly, so far we've flown in a drone looking for stuff, probably. U.S. military targets drug cartels in southern Caribbean. Now, this is out in the water. We've got literally air and naval forces deployed out there right now. Pentagon is using these forces to force against Latin American drug cartels. Latin American drug cartels are very heavily under attack right now. We don't give a shit what Maduro says. Like Maduro, essentially, they're saying, look, he's not even the leader. This dude's the leader of a major cartel, major faction, working directly with Cuba. So what we've done is we've sent ships down there. We're kind of like what China's doing, I don't know, around the Philippines, Japan, all right now. They're kind of doing similar stuff, but this isn't necessarily our neck of the woods, but right now we're owning up on it. And we are taking care of business, taking out cartels. What that exactly means, we can speculate a little. They're still offering $50 million for anyone that can give information that's credible that will get Nicolas Maduro toasted, right? Toasted. They're still working on it. It's still hopefully going to happen one of these days, right? We'll see. USAID failed again. Appeals court let the administration block billions in foreign aid. So the Trump administration once again is allowed to continue this. Whether this moves up further, we'll see. But long story short, he's not being stopped. Appellate court panel reversed the order that blocked Trump admin cutting funding to USAID. The ruling is a significant win in the effort to dissolve USAID. And this is Biden-appointed Judge Florence Pan. She was the one dissenter. It was 2-1, obviously. So, yeah. Well, not obvious, but it has happened that way, I guess. So we've got this application to vacate stay presented to Justice Alito, and the court has denied this. This is the one, the net choice application interim relief because it's not sufficiently demonstrated that the balance of harms and equities favor. Oh yeah, this is a Mississippi law for the age identification. So Justice Kavanaugh has allowed this to move forward, basically just dismissed the case at the Supreme Court, or raised to that level, I guess. Essentially saying Mississippi, if they want to put an age restriction on software, then so be it. So this company, Net Choice, doesn't have the ability to fight this, or at least the case is done at this point. We've got a power crisis. It's starting to spread across state lines. Now, again, the way power structures work, or power grids, there's 3 power grids in this country. There's the Western grid, the Eastern grid, and there's the Texas grid. Texas got their own grid. Now, I don't know exactly where they break or bend or move. You know, I don't know if it's the Mississippi or something stupid like that. Who knows? I don't know. But wherever it is. We've got states that are all doing this green stuff, and they're now not producing enough energy, and they're having problems, especially during the rocketing temperatures that they experience. So they're now pissed. People's power bills are insanely high because these companies or states, I'm sorry, same thing, kind of. The states are having to buy power from other states, and they're paying a premium. And that's how the grid works, basically. So this is not good, and it's going to cost a lot of voters. That's one of the things many people are talking about right now. Now, Pam Bondi, she fires a Justice Department worker. This is the sandwich throwing guy I told you about, and this guy can apparently chuck a sandwich. I wish I had the video. I guess I don't. I thought I did. I had it up at some point somewhere. But yeah, he just he was right up close. I mean, he was like within 3-4 feet of the dude. Just throws a friggin' sandwich him. Oops. Just chucks a sandwich at him, right? $5 foot long. Just chucked it right in his face. I know they're not $5 anymore, unless you live in, like, I don't know, some weird place in Tennessee. Maybe it's still $5. No offense to Tennessee. Gabbard goes after Clapper, declassifying emails on the Russia hacking reports. So they've got this email exchange that she has released. It says, he talks about the activity of this fast track. Well, let's just go to we'll get to here. Let's just open this up. Right here, Clapper basically has a conversation going. He signs it down here, Jim. He goes, Mike, John, Jim, I understand your concerns. It is essential that we, blah, 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 be on the same page and are all supportive of the report and the highest traditions of that's our story, and we're sticking to it. It's trying to bring everyone together. It's in the emails. There was issues with people not knowing the data and trusting the data, wanting more time with the data. John Solomon's talking a bunch about this. Check it out.
Tonight, we're going to tell you about the other Clinton investigation, one that was running in 3 separate FBI offices, New York, Washington, and Little Rock. It was a predicated criminal investigation that was examining whether Hillary Clinton ran a pay-to-play scheme that delivered favors from her perch as Secretary of State, while foreigners and others paid large sums of money to her family foundation, the Clinton Foundation, run by Bill Clinton and their daughter, eventually Chelsea Clinton. 3 separate agencies, 3 separate bureaus, offices of the FBI believe they had predicated evidence to pursue that. Every time they tried to move the ball down the road in the shadows of the 2016 election, they got shut down. I mean, they got shut down at the highest levels of their agency. Andrew McCabe, the deputy director, a man who potentially had a conflict of interest with Hillary Clinton. His wife got money from Hillary Clinton's former campaign chair to run for a Virginia state Senate. And by the way, McCabe attended the meeting where that assistance was solicited. He eventually was conflicted out, but not before he gave the order to his agents that you won't investigate or do anything on this unless I approve it. Downstream from them, 4 different U.S. attorneys' offices under Barack Obama were asked for help by the agents. Agents need help. We need a grand juror. We need to get evidence. We want to move the case down the road. All 3 of those 4 offices told the agents, you're on your own. We will not assist you in your pursuit of criminal charges against Hillary Clinton. And then perhaps the most extraordinary statement in the document that we are going to show you on screen now. They can put it up as you're looking here. The Deputy Attorney General for Barack Obama, Sally Yates, explicitly told the FBI, shut it down, meaning the corruption probes of Hillary Clinton. Think about this. While Donald Trump was out on the campaign trail chanting, lock her up, maybe there was a good reason to lock up Hillary Clinton, he would argue every night, the Obama Justice Department was telling the FBI agents who also thought there might be a reason to lock up Hillary Clinton, shut it down. Remember those words. We have a lot more up for you. In a second, we're going to bring in Senator Ron Johnson, someone who's been instrumental in exposing so much of this incredible, dirty scheme in Washington. But one last piece of note before I bring in Amanda. We have now confirmed tonight there are some prosecutors who have come forward and are willing to cooperate with Attorney General Pam Bondi and, of course, FBI Director Kash Patel, who found this document. He found this document based on some whistleblowers that Justin News had. He went and got it. He has other emails that he's going to be turning over to Congress that I think will further this narrative. This is the beginning, but we told you this was a double-headed scandal. The first part was pursuing false allegations against Republicans. The second was forming a protection racket around Democrats like Hillary Clinton and Biden family and others, Joe Biden himself, when it came to classified documents.
The hardest challenge we're all going to have, all of us going to have, is actually how we regurgitate these giant, enormous, complex things, and actually be able to converse with others in a reasonably concise manner, like just short and sweet. Like here's a fact, here's another fact, here's another fact, because it is a lot, and a lot of people don't want to take in all that information. James Comer's talking about some of this crazy stuff.
When you talk about Adam Schiff, not only is this coming to light that he leaked classified data, that he colluded with the media to try to create a false narrative to hurt our President of the United States, to hurt our foreign policy, to influence the elections, but he's also involved in a mortgage scam. So I think that the walls are closing in on Adam Schiff, and I think the Department of Justice has ample evidence now to move forward and hold Adam Schiff accountable for the many crimes that he's committed.
Just having a pencil neck, being one of them. I mean, there's others. Donald Trump talking about the people involved in the grand conspiracy should be taken care of. Those are strong words.
Tulsi Gabbard declassified more documents last night related to the Russiagate hoax.
She's doing a great job, by the way. That was another fake story. I'm very happy with the job she's doing. That's right. They declassified some terrible documents talking about Democrats and what they did. Radical left lunatics.
It showed that then DNI James Clapper sent out emails to IC officials saying that it would be a team sport to push then the debunked 2017 ICA report, and that it might lead them to compromise on their normal modalities. What's your reaction to the latest declassification? And in your view, sir, what does real accountability look like for the players?
It's incredible what we're finding. Absolute proof of guilt. And we'll see what happens. But Clapper and Comey and that whole group of criminals, they're criminals. And they made it very tough. They did the fake Russia witch hunt that lasted for 2 years. And I got totally exonerated. There was no doubt about it. They should have done it in 1 day, not 2 years. But it was a whole scheme to try and demean Trump so that I couldn't win an election. And that is a criminal group of people. They're sick people. And they're criminals, and they should be taken care of.
I'm trying to denice Trump. That's what I'm trying to do. That's stupid. I know. When I said it out loud, it didn't sound nearly as cool as it did in my mind. Treasury Secretary Bessent calls for trading ban in Congress amid similar efforts in Congress. Now, he talks about single stock trading, which to my understanding is what he's talking about is you can be in mutual funds that might happen to buy stocks that just got affected. If you're buying specific single stocks, like Lockheed Martin or something like that, because a defense deal is about to happen or not happen, that's different. If you're in a mutual fund that happens to buy Lockheed Martin and you're in that and you happen to be on some panel that knows now that Lockheed's getting a deal and the stock goes up, that's cool. Good for you. You got lucky just like the rest of us. But essentially he's calling out the fact that these people's returns, Nancy Pelosi and he calls out Ron Wyden, as two people that they have extraordinarily good stock returns, and these are obviously two of the primary people that are sitting on these specific intelligence boards and whatnot. So these guys are making a ton of money. It's very messed up. Canada mired in Trump trade talks. They're hit with a 75% Chinese canola tariff. Uh-oh, Canada, my Canucks, my honkers up north of us. You guys are getting jacked on your canola products now. You can't get your canola oil out there, eh? China's pissed. You're dumping it in the market because you guys are, hurting for money. Trump kind of did a thing with the U.S. aid and with what he did with the tariffs. Every country is now having to sort of swim on their own, if you will. And we're seeing all the places where these countries are failing and what they're now all of a sudden trying to do to deal with that. So Canada right now is basically the government is paying extra money in the canola world, and so they can keep the prices down, and it's pissing China off, which I think is funny. By the way, China, no offense, love Chinese people, but this is the Communist Chinese Party problem, right? And Mr. Xi that has one expression for every experience in his life, right? Happy sad, in love. So I'm making the expressions right now. I don't know if you can tell. Yeah, good. I have the camera on. I figured it was off. Usually is. I'm like, and there's no camera. It's like, budge. Rare earths, we draw, or increased, I should say, the floor price that we'll pay here in the United States. They did this as a means of trying to fire up local production to make it more affordable to pull this crap out of the ground here in the United States. We need these rare earths badly, and we need to stop trusting China. If we do, China's mostly screwed. Like, there's almost like this race to the moon, right? Well, there's this race to rare earths for us. The faster we can get to them and start literally pulling their punk asses out of the ground, the faster we can tell China this, right? Like, just, you know, like just call it for what it is. Because China's collapsing. And again, my love goes to all the people that are going through this everywhere, like all across the world. We've got, you know, Iran is going through hard times, right? Like, there's a lot of parts of the world that are going through some really shitty moments right now. I am grateful I was brought up where I was in the world. I am very grateful. Hopefully you guys share that same appreciation. We are in one of the nicest parts of the world, unless you're listening to me and you're somehow in a bunker. Say hi to Bin Laden for me, though, if you are, by the way. Just, yeah, give a call out to the guy. Producer spike happened. So the producer price spike. So they're going to be calling this inflation. Whatever. I don't care. It's over 2%. So we're at 1.3% higher than 2%. We're at least the PPI, the producer price index. It's up 3.3% right now. It's the biggest jump ever since a little while ago. Right? They expected it to be a little lower than it was going to be. It was up 0.2% more than it was supposed to. What is interesting about this? So this is PPI, the producer price. So producers make stuff. So that means their raw materials cost more if they're producers having to pay more. There's the consumer price index, the CPI. That's the consumer buying the post-produced, you know, after it's been produced items, right? So producing, they're saying, oh, there's a 3.3% increase. That's bad. I mean, not that bad, but that's bad. What we found, though, the surge in producer price was driven almost entirely by the services industry. Services, which is people-based 100%. So most of this PPI inflation is people, employment-based stuff, which, by the way, AI is going to remove a lot of, which people are crying about, but I think it's going to let a lot of people get into better jobs where they're going to make more money doing something they actually probably enjoy more. Like, you're somebody that maybe used to be a stalker on a night crew in a grocery store, and you end up losing your job for some weird reason because now they got a robot, right? And so you learn how to, how to do electricity, how to be electrical, right? And you get into that, and then all of a sudden you start making more money than you were. You're doing something, you're like, this is kind of fun. I enjoy it. I get to meet different people, work different places. Like, it's kind of fun. And all of a sudden, you're doing something you enjoy more, and it's making a huge difference, and you're actually helping expand our country right now. You know, it's kind of funny. A lot of us are doing stuff that is a stupid job. No offense. You know, and maybe the idea of doing something different is scary, because it is with a lot of people. But we're heading into new uncharted territory, they would say. And sometimes, yes, I'll say it, not all these things react well to bullets. I was just making sure everything loaded up. Gold's down a little bit, 33.87. It's kind of funny how it's been fluctuating all over the place over the past week, too. NASDAQ, they're all pretty flat right now, actually. 0.06% up, NASDAQ is showing. Yeah, NASDAQ's been all over the damn place. Where are we at with cryptos? What is that, FX, I think? No. Rates, futures, rates, Asia, crypto. That's the word that says crypto. That would, you know what? That's so weird that the cryptos would be under that header. That's so strange. Bitcoin is down a little bit. Ethereum's up a lot. Damn. Or it's, I mean, just overall, I haven't been paying attention. XRP's at $3. How funny. What did I buy it at? 89 cents. I think it's the little bit I own. I mean. It's up quite a bit. It's not bad. Solana, Dogecoin, Cardano, yada yada. Very good stuff. So yeah, having fun. Rocking and rolling hoochie coo. Hey, just want to remind you guys, drslikesgold.com. drslikesgold.com. System's looking for a big at some point. Just don't be stuck in their system. Get into precious metals. If you got a 401k or an IRA, drslikesgold.com. drslikesgold.com. Let my good friends at Goldco help you out. They're the best. The best customer service. They'll answer all your questions. Tax-free, penalty-free, up to 10% of the face value of free silver. A lot of great things are going on. So please, 4 data points, get your free gold and silver playbook, and you guys would be surprised how much you can control the anxiety that you're feeling through this crazy times. All said. We've got Trump targets drug dependence on China, monopolies, and space flight. I think I want to play like a minute of this. Check this out. And it's not Tiffany today.
Pharmaceuticals, monopolies, and spaceflight. President Trump signed 3 new executive orders, each aimed at reshaping key parts of American life.
NTD's Daniel Monahan has the details.
President Trump Wednesday signed an executive order to strengthen America's drug supply chain by building a strategic reserve of essential pharmaceutical ingredients, preferably made in the U.S. The goal? Reduce dependence on China, which produces most of the core materials and active ingredients for generic drugs. Author Rosemary Gibson warns the U.S. now relies on China for 95% of these critical ingredients, a system she calls perfectly designed for catastrophic failure. Trump ordered the rapid restocking of the Strategic Active Pharmaceutical Ingredients Reserve, a program he launched in his first term. He accused the Biden administration of leaving it nearly empty. On competition, President Trump also signed an executive order revoking a Biden-era directive that told federal agencies to crack down on anti-competitive practices in industries like pharmaceuticals, labor, and healthcare.
Wait, you said crack, man? You crack? I mean, wait, what, you got some? You know somebody? I'm just asking for a friend. By the way, it is funny, just so you guys know. I feel like that actually injured my neck. Tiffany Meyer, the one that's my girl. She actually said something pretty disgusting one time. Whatever, It was pretty raunchy. And I actually edited it out. You know why? Because I was actually afraid she would see it. So just for you guys to know. Yeah, I think I'm going to end up talking to Tiffany at some point. Hi, Tiffany. Just playing. Dr. McCullough. Parasite cleanse, dude. There's this guy was having eye problems. This freaked me out a little bit. I'll be honest. Like I said, the red spots that are now getting darker. So I'm like, oh, thank God. That was my parasite cleanse. It's close by if I need it. But this guy's eye, he had a parasite in his eye. And he couldn't see. Having problems, causing vision problems. I feel like Kramer right now. I don't know how I would feel. Just be like, oh, no, bro, here's the problem. You got a bug in your eye. Dude, I would be like, get it out. Like, I would be like having a spider on me someplace. I couldn't handle that. Dr. McCullough is talking about it. He's like, this is why you should get on the parasite cleanse. I'll go for it. It's worth it. I went down to the basement. Right? Parasite cleanse. You can't read it because it's whitewashed from the light, but it is the cleanse. Hey, did you guys see the story I did yesterday about the freaking rabbits with freaking things coming out of them? What the shit is going on? That's all I can say. It's freaking me out a little bit. That's why I'm happy about the wellness company, TWC, as I will refer to them from here on out. TWC.health/OTF. TWC.health/OTF. They've got the parasite cleanse. You have to consider this. The parasite. They're involved in so many things now. The studies that are coming out about parasites. This has been a trip for me. I noticed significant changes, especially on skin things. I had something that was probably, it's probably about that big, right? About that big. I wasn't trying to do it in front of my eye. Sorry. That was whatever. It was about that big, right? And it's shrunk down to just this little sliver of a thing. And that's like the key part of it. And it's like it was the part that was a little darker. So again, it still seems like things are getting better. So we're going to keep going in that direction. Also, little like red freckles, if you will, that I have, which, I'm not sexy, that's for sure. If that just ruined your image of me, and my body does not look like Brad Pitt's probably. Yeah, no, it's pitted version of Brad Pitt's body is what it is. But yeah, these things are they're not red anymore. They're actually becoming darker, and so there's something going on with those. Like those are dying, is what I'm seeing, and that's, I think, a good thing. So I am noticing a huge thing with this. It's a 90-day supply. So if you think the expense is a lot, if you break it down per day, 90 days at that price, and you're getting 25 milligrams of ivermectin, 250 milligrams of mebendazole. That's actually, you go dig it up anywhere, what it would cost you to buy those separately and have them get to you somehow. First off, this also has a prescription. Yeah, it's legal, 100%. You have a prescription. You have doctors, you have membership, you have a lot of things going on when you sign up. So that's rad. And yeah, break it down. I dare you, go look. It's actually it's a great deal. And for what you're getting quality medicines by doctors. It's fantastic. Again, they've got the Ultimate Spike Detox is one of the things, if you've rolled your sleeve up or know somebody that has, it is one of the best that's out there. It's actually engineered to literally take the spike part out. And that's that engineered part. That's the part that was made in Wuhan, the spike. That's what it looks for. It's geared for it. They are Dr. McKenna. I'm drawing a blank. I'm saying his name wrong. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying. I don't want to say it wrong again and again. But he's the one that's been involved in this as well, right? So we have a powerful set of doctors here. A lot of really good products. Different ways to go about it. They also have the methylene blue with the recharge. It's got a couple other things mixed in with it, which I kind of recommend. You do the enhanced version of methylene blue, and you'll be impressed. Also, and so again, a lot of really good stuff by Goal. They've got over here too. This is all under shop. Anti-aging, appetite control, cleanse, detox, hair loss. Right, they've got it all. Check it out. They've got it going on. I've also got another big advertiser thing that's coming up. That's actually going to be tied into a weird way with something that's going to trip some of you out, and I think some of you guys are going to take advantage of it in the alternative way. You'll see. It's coming up. It's coming up soon. I've talked to my web designer. And yeah, we've got something that we're working on that I think is going to be kind of fun for people out there. So keep these things in mind. My website might have already been upgraded for those of you who know. There is a contact me section in there. Again, I just want to say I get a lot of emails, and some of you have been blocked already. But yeah, I'm just going to say that much for now. Eventually, I'll start plugging the actual site. But for now, if you figure it out, cool. If you've been there before, cool. But there is ability to contact me there, and then it'll send me an email. twc.health/OTF. Check out your anti-parasite cleanse. This parasite stuff is, no go. And a lot of things I've noticed with it. So just check it. You're not going to be disappointed. That's all I can say. twc.health/OTF. twc.health/OTF. I can use my words. They're coming. Trump admin slams British censorship regime, and this whole thing that's going on in England. England's getting pissed. I know they are. I can actually tell they are. I just can't see it in their face. But I know they're pissed. I know what's going on is a lot for them. They don't know how to deal with it, though. They're gentlemen and stuff like that. They're gentle ladies. I don't know what the ladies... What are you, just lady? If it's that the gentle way? If you're a gentle person, I should say. Not Gentile, per se. India defied U.S. pressure. Jump away from that. India defied U.S. pressure to dump Russia for these 5 reasons. So India, first off, India doesn't buy shit from the United States. They really don't. They buy a lot of stuff from Russia. Their weapons, a lot of their weapons anyways, their oil. And Russia's been giving them a sweet deal on the oil, and India's been allowed to sell it at a higher price and making money off it. Now, some of this is because Russia's been kind of screwed by the way the sanctions and all these things have worked, and it has actually made it hard for them. And so because of that, they were literally filling up with oil, and they had to find somebody that would take it. Like, dude, we'll sell it to you cheap. We've got to move oil. Can you sell it for us? And they'll be like, hell yeah. And be like, you make what you can make. You just help us out. And they're like, all right. So India's getting a sweet deal. I don't know how long it lasts. Probably until, things equalize a bit for Russia. But Russia right now is just trying to deal. It's not easy for them. They don't want, India doesn't want to look weak, to the United States when they're bowing to the U.S. demands, right? Discounted Russian energy is accelerating India's economy, so it's helping them buy weapons and all this other crap, which is coming from Russia, and they're probably making deals similar to what Trump's talking about, right? Where, buy some of our military and we'll give you the gas really cheap. India can't defend itself from China and Pakistan without Russia. They can't. That S3 and S400 systems, and they have an S500 too, but I don't think they're giving that to India right now. But I believe they just made a deal with the S400 system. Very impressive. Trump is hell-bent on derailing India's rise at great power. I don't think that's true, but I do think this is part of the multipolar thing. India does not like China. China and India don't trust each other at all, both sides. Russia and China don't trust each other at all. So this is kind of a way to put China in check, is Russia and India. So again, when you think of the deep state places, Communist Chinese Party, CCP, which is unfortunately in China, and then you look at Iran and Israel, we've got a few key places, Ukraine, where they are epicentered at. You can't really call it epicenter when there's 4 of them, but there's multiple. We are controlling that. It is happening. India can't allow Russia to become China's junior partner. That's true too. I don't think, China and Russia aren't exactly trustworthy. They share a border, and there's always been issues around those borders. China doesn't like borders, is one thing we've come to find, it seems. Senator Rubio, or Secretary Rubio, tells this person that 60,000 Russian soldiers died in Ukraine last month, and says Friday's summit, a meeting is what you do to kind of figure out, to make a decision. I want to have all the facts. I want to look this guy in the eye, and that's what POTUS wants to do. So honestly, I think we're going to know very early in that meeting whether this thing has any chance of success or not. 60,000 Russian soldiers died in Ukraine last month. That's a lot of dead people. Now, that could be true. I don't know. Supposedly, Russia's total armed forces is, they gave me a number somewhere. Here it is, 1.32 million active. So 60 grand is, a chunk of that, but not huge. But damn, that's a lot of people. Many are saying, you believe those numbers, you're out of control. I hope, I don't know. I would hope Rubio's not lying. I doubt he is. That's a lot of people to die. I wonder what Ukraine's numbers actually are. Russia's fuel exports plummeted in July. Again, they've been shut down. It's a big part of why India's where they are. It's a lot. It's affecting things. They try to make it sound like, no, we're cool. Everything's fine. They're not. It sucks for everybody right now. NATO membership, they're talking about $1 trillion in reparations against Russia. This is hilarious, by the way. This is Europe's thing. Europe's like, hey, people that won the war, which is Russia, you have to pay reparations and give back the land that you won. Russia's not going to do that. So what Europe is doing, and what Kyiv with Zelensky is doing, is essentially guaranteeing that peace doesn't happen. That's what he's doing. They don't want peace. Why? Zelensky's immediately gone the second peace happens. All I'll say is give peace a chance, and Zelensky's ass is gone. So he can't. He doesn't want peace. The money that's transferring, the $50 million a month that's going to that place off in, don't even remember what country it was, I reported yesterday. There's so much going on. So according to the outlet, Ukraine is doubling down on demands for an unconditional ceasefire before moving ahead with any negotiations, retaining all territory it has captured, $1 trillion in reparations from Russia, NATO membership, and unconditional release of all prisoners. They have literally no bargaining chips. They are getting their asses handed to them. And this is where they are. Putin hints at an expected nuclear arms treaty breakthrough with Trump at the summit. Now, I do think there's a bit of a head fake going on, a psyop, whatever you want to call it. I think the deep state's trying to take away the ability for Trump to get a victory when the victory is not really about ending the war per se with Ukraine and Russia. Maybe understanding the terms, maybe making sure it's playing a part because we are doing we're the sanction masters, so we definitely play a major role in this. And maybe some of it is just us being difficult with Europe and be like, all right, if you guys want to keep funding it, cool, we're out. Peace. It's your problem. We've talked to Russia. We're cool with what Russia has done. This should have never have happened. You all made the mistake of letting this happen. So, yeah, looks like Ukraine lost some land. Yep. That's a bummer. Like, I don't know how Trump's going to phrase it. He'll do a better job at it probably, right? With that voice. No, I can't do it. That bugs me. Someone sent me an email talking about how someone else could do their voice. Like, yeah, so-and-so can do their voice. And I'm like, yeah, of course. Everyone can. Like, I can't. It seems. But everyone else can. You want to start with, I can't. I want to so badly. I can't do it. I don't know how to get there. I don't know how to get there. I know there's a nasally. Anyway. It's not always my fault. Anyways, we have to move to the next stages and reach agreements in the field of strategic offensive arms control. This will create long-term conditions for peace between our countries in Europe and in the world as a whole. This is what Putin's talking about with this nuclear arms treaty. This likely is going to be the big deal with the discussion. Everybody's making it about Zelensky because, again, the deep state narcissists that they are. And Trump's kind of doing this on purpose. Of course they're talking about Zelensky, and they're going to make sure they understand that component perfectly. Are they going to publicly talk about a whole lot of it? We'll see what they come up with. They'll do what's proper. But I'm betting that a big part of the agreement is the talk of this START treaty, which might require a ceasefire, and Trump might put the pressure on the ceasefire from that standpoint. Like, look, we could get a nuclear treaty if you guys would stop fighting. So again, it's an interesting, he's got to not just try to diplomatically deal with Russia, but he's also got to deal with Europe. Europe doesn't want this war to start up, right? They're making money. Money's flowing. You got Ursula von der Leyen that's trying to keep it going, you know? And you've got Brigitte fighting Candace Owens for the sake of democracy. Russian hackers supposedly behind this suspected sabotage at a dam in Norway. Of course, they got to blame Russia. This thing started spitting out water. It's Russia's fault. And it might be. Who knows? Who knows? Seems funny that they're always blaming Russia right before something funky is about to happen, you know, and not in the cool, cold Medina kind of way, but just sort of funky in general, you know, like something died somewhere. Over 20,000 arrested in Iran on suspicion of espionage during the war with Israel. In 12 days, they arrested 21,000 people on various charges. Damn. I mean, I hope that went longer than 12 days, that they arrested that many people. I assume so. I think they're referencing the 12-day war. A lot of people arrested, whatever. Netanyahu says he's back. Greater Israel. He's drawing outrage from the Arab states. Man, this just, when I saw this, I'm sorry, guys, for just the Big Lino stuff. This always cracks me up. But the Yahweh was the God of Israel, right? Or the Elohim of Israel, to be very specific and more accurate, I think. This is probably close to the land that he was expecting to be theirs. And I wonder if Israel doesn't have that land as their own, then do they get punished? Again, I don't know. There's some weird stuff floating around right now, and I'm like, part of me's, I guess, listening a little that maybe this weird date they've got out in front of us. I hate dates, so I'm not gonna. We'll see. Whatever. I don't know. Just something that kind of was funny, pushed in that direction a little bit. This is just another funny thing. You remember, it's not funny. I mean, it's sad. It's very sad, I guess. So, too soon. We had 4 different CEOs or whatever that died by jumping out of buildings from China. Remember we talked about this, I think, yesterday? Well, so in Gilgit, Pakistan, a Chinese mountaineer has died after being hit by a falling rock while descending from the world's 2nd highest peak in northern Pakistan. Can't help but say it that way. He was struck on Tuesday while coming down from the K2. The dude fell from a mountain. I don't know if he was just a mountaineer. I don't know if he was a CEO or something. But, man, whatever. I don't know if they tell us what he was. Sad. Very sad, actually. U.S. reactivates military intelligence unit in South Korea. They shut it down back during Biden's administration. Well, even further than that, I think. This super squadron, they're calling them. They're now operating, I want to say it was where the 528 was disbanded in 2005 after deployment during the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq. So they've turned them back on. These guys are back in action. Something interesting to keep in mind. On the high seas, the Navy's talking about 3D printing as a way of supply chain delays. And basically, you just need the supply, like the toner. It's a good way to look at it, but the toner's a little different than a printer, per se, a normal printer. But a 3D printer, the toner is, oftentimes it's like carbon-y stuff. But I would assume there's different metals and different things you can probably 3D print with, especially when the military is getting into it. Whatever the case is, they're starting to look at doing that. Smart idea. You get a small part that you need to be able to machine or manufacture. Dude, 3D printing's the way to go. You are good as long as you've got the ability to like machine shop it, smooth and clean and all that nonsense. You're good to go. So yeah, they're doing that. Yay. We're getting smarter. Harvey Weinstein's going to be tried for the 3rd time in New York. I just kind of bring this up in that, even though he's getting off on some of these cases, he is spending, 1, he's in a wheelchair now, but 2, he's spending like the rest of his life in court. Like, I mean, his life's not in a good place. He's spending gobs of money just trying to stay out of jail. That's like the same thing as spending gobs of money trying to stay alive in the healthcare industry, right? So, I don't know. Maybe you can feel a little bit of, happiness that he's at least not enjoying. He's not like OJ's life was until he got thrown in jail the next time. That was pretty awesome. Luna says lawmakers have evidence of interdimensional beings. I kind of feel like Luna's the one they chose for a reason. It's unfortunate for anybody that's ever paid attention to the whole UFO stuff. It's almost always the craziest that end up with the story. And I always wonder why. I think it's to discredit the story. So it's unfortunate. Anna Paulina Luna, I have mad respect for her. She seems a very intelligent young lady. Also extraordinarily beautiful. Right? All those things, wonderful. But yeah, she's the one they've handed it to. And she's putting it out, and it's cool. Based on testimony she's seen, they've got witnesses that have come forward. They're just saying a bunch of the stuff. We don't know. Can't tell anything that's classified, yada, yada. This disclosure stuff seems to be trying to happen, albeit I think the pace of it is stupid slow. But, it is what it is. Finally, I don't know if you guys even know who this dude is. I'm going to play it just because I can't even understand him at first. He's screaming so loud. This supposedly was a dude that was running for governor in South Carolina. He was a Democrat. He is a Democrat probably still, but he was running for governor. I don't believe he is anymore. But Mr. McLeod, the Clan McLeod of the Clan McLeod, for any of you guys that actually have ever watched Highlander, that was for you. That was for you and little Sean Connery in there. The Spaniard, Sean, playing a Spaniard with his Sean Connery accent as a Spaniard. Yeah, this is as much as him. Not all these things react well to bullets. None of that sounded Russian in any way, did it? No, it's not even a little. It sounded like Sean Connery. I thought so too, Sean. That was my point. As the conversation goes inside my head. Anyway, this dude...
William, can I talk to you?
William, can I talk to you?
That's gonna give you some grace. But no slack. You ain't getting off your bitch. My guess is your crimes are against humanity. Hey, Terry Matthew, my flame's gonna start to slow down a little bit. Man, you motherfuckers, man. So what happened was, in a lawsuit known as a class action, okay, which class is stupid, the class members, right, don't get the money. It's everybody at the top. Now I know why Ron Motley's no longer with us. And no, I don't think the devil, well, the man didn't take him out. Ron had so much pain in him. The last time I saw him before he died, his eyes were just yellow. Yellow. I know what that is. Because I know what that bottle will do to you. That didn't make Ron Motley an unjust man. That made him one of the most just and pure people, humans, to ever walk this earth. He was just tormented inside. Ron, I'm not here to judge you, my friend. I love you.
Now, I don't know if I mentioned that he was supposedly in his underwear and I believe tennis shoes. Just feel like, well, not necessarily tennis shoes. It makes sneakers sound like they were a comfortable shoe. I don't know specifically for tennis or not, right? I don't know if it matters. It was dick shoes, as my Kiwis friends would say. So he was running for office. Whoops. Yeah. A lot going on, guys. I don't know. Craziness. I love you. We're going to be doing this again. I've got a wonderful Law of One show going to be popping up live here in an hour and a half from where I'm standing, but it's going to be like 30 minutes from where you are. 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern on Thursday. You can watch it after. You don't need to be part of the live. You can be if you'd like. It's people. I take questions. I let people ask some interesting stuff, and yeah, it's usually good. Usually a pretty good time. And then also we got a live music show going on Friday, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. That's going to rock and roll. We've got, it's really heavy 80s, 1980. Popular songs, rock mostly. It'll work. You'll like it. It's a good time. It's a good time, especially our audience. And again, if you want or fancy yourself finding a group of people that you have stuff in common with that are, for the most part, super nice. We've got rare occasions in our chat, and I've got whatevers. I got people paying attention, right? Moderators, that word. It's a great place to meet people. Great place to come and hang out and just talk about stuff that's going on. Most of the time, whatever the hell I'm doing or talking about is definitely not what the conversation has to do with at all. And it's pretty cool. Sometimes it does, but it's fantastic. So you can be a part of it if you want. If not, you can always check out the great show. The music's always a lot of fun. And, if you want to, you're at the gym, you're like me on the treadmill, I'll throw one of my shows on frequently because the music's pretty cool. And you can listen to that and have a good time in that respect. So hopefully you guys check it out. It's a couple of the live things I do and I enjoy doing. That said, I got a lot going to be happening over the next number of weeks. Buckle up that belt, get ready. Don't go looking for trouble. Make sure you're safe around the house. If trouble's not happening outside your front door, then you're good. Remember that. Don't go looking. Don't go looking. Stay, don't go breaking my heart. Right? Don't do that. Right? I couldn't if I tried. Like, I want to hear that from you. I think we got this, guys. I think we're going to do well. Stay strong in your hearts. Stay strong in your soul. Find people in their common ground, and we'll keep kicking ass. I'm loving what we're doing. Keep rippling, babies. We'll talk soon. Where we go one, we go all. It's on the Fringe with Dan RadioStyle.